Protect your car with 3W Liners all-weather floor mats. Made from durable materials like TPE and rubber, our mats are designed to withstand rain, snow, and mud with deep grooves to trap dirt and liquids. For a custom fit and advanced protection, visit 3W Liners. That's the number 3, WLINERS.com today. At Acasis, innovation drives us. Since 2008, we've been creating cutting-edge technology products that make your life easier. With a focus on performance, design, and customer service, we're here to help you work smarter, not harder. Join us on our journey to simplify your world. Visit Acasis.com today. That's ACASIS.com today.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com. Unlock a world of convenience with Mullybox, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. From gourmet snacks to unique finds, each box is tailored to your tastes. Experience the joy of surprises. Subscribe today at mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com. We are Rogue Media Sports.
It is the Cam Show on Rogue Media Sports Network, coming to you live on YouTube from a closet in rural South Carolina. I have been hunting quail all morning, and now I'm here to bring you the latest news in Boston sports, as I usually do, just live from this closet 2 days before Christmas on a very special holiday. Lest we forget, we focus on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. The British and Canadians love doing Boxing Day. But lest we forget that December 23rd is a massive holiday and one that we shouldn't forget. But in case you need a refresher.
I got your message. I haven't celebrated Festivus in years. What is your interest?
Well, just tell me everything, huh?
Many Christmases ago, I went to buy a doll for my son. I reached for the last one they had, but so did another man. As I rained blows upon him, I realized there had to be another way.
What happened to the doll?
It was destroyed. But out of that, a new holiday was born. A Festivus for the rest of us.
A Festivus for the rest of us. Festivus, like Seinfeld itself, is just one of those things that your dad tells you about how great it is for so long and how funny it is. And then you become an adult and you realize that it is funny. My dad celebrated it for years. That was my first, the first text I woke up to this morning was my dad probably chilling on his iPad about 4:30 in the morning saying Happy Festivus. He used to do it, celebrate it with my grandparents. And now, again, like Seinfeld itself, you actually start watching it as an adult and you do realize it is funny. It's a great holiday, man. I mean, what more do you need 2 days before Christmas than to air your grievances and show feats of strength? It's fantastic. I'm going to go air my grievances with my prospective in-laws, probably the rest of this day, to celebrate Festivus properly. But yes, a little getaway. So I appreciate you guys bearing with me, patience-wise, being in this closet that will get inevitably way too hot. But I'm sure the sound reverberates pretty well. Why is Pete Souza calling me while I'm on the air? Let's take this call. Let's take this call. Hey, Pete, you're on the air live with the Cam Show.
Stop. Am I really?
Yes, it's past 11 a.m. So this is when I do the show.
It's 10 a.m., no?
Yeah, I'm doing it at 11.
So am I on right now?
You're on right now.
You know what's funny? I was thinking about the Festivus episode.
Are you watching?
No, I'm not. But
Because you literally called me as I had just played the clip and was talking about Festivus.
It's an amazing episode. Do you have any questions you want to ask me before I leave you alone?
No, it's great. I love Festivus, man. I was just saying, it's like my dad would just talk about how funny Festivus is, and like Seinfeld itself, you're just like, yeah, okay. And then as an adult, you start watching it. I know that's probably not relatable for your generation, but it is for mine.
I will tell you, and I'll leave you with this, and we can talk later. Jerry Stiller is probably one of the most electric performers in the history of that show. And this episode is reason number one.
Dude, it's great. This and the episode where they think George is dead and he has to call Steinbrenner are my two favorite Jerry Stiller things of all time.
Jerry Stiller's going to fight with Elaine. It's amazing. All right, call me back. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, it's okay. I did roll with just Eastern time. So anyway, thanks, Pete. Talk to you later.
See you, buddy. Bye.
Bye. That's Pete Souza, everyone. I do want to talk about Walker Buehler. Not everyone was standing pat on this Festivus. The Red Sox went out and signed a pitcher, Walker Buehler. 1 year, little over $21 million for 2025. And there are going to be some people that are upset about this. But I would urge you to look at what you got rather than what you did not get. And what you got is a guy who was a top of the line starting pitcher as of 2 years ago. He didn't ease back into 2024 off the Tommy John surgery in 23. His numbers were not good in the regular season in 24. In fact, his first postseason start, he got shelled as well against San Diego. He comes back, finishes that postseason run very strong for the Dodgers, has a great start at Yankee Stadium in the World Series, actually closes out the World Series in Game 5. And obviously the Red Sox have seen his potential in the postseason. Going back to that 2018 World Series, he was phenomenal in that Game 3. That was 6 years ago. But, they know that he has a postseason acumen. So what you got is a guy that is hopefully easing back in after the surgery at age 29 and is going to be a pretty good starting pitcher. Probably not an ace guy, but there's that ace potential in him. Now, some Red Sox fans will be upset because it's going to mark what they didn't get. And what they didn't get, it looks like, is going to be Corbin Burnes and probably Sasaki as well, if people are still on the Sasaki train and want that the Japanese phenom to come and pitch for the Red Sox to get that, to fill that need after missing out on Yamamoto last year. It probably looks like you're not getting one of those two guys. And you'll remember when I had Fennessy on, I said, there's some guys out there that you can get that aren't Corbin Burnes, but what it will show you either through free agency like Walker Buehler or through a trade for a guy like Logan Gilbert. And it's not bad in a vacuum, but what it will show you is that this ownership is once again not ready to spend. And that's going to be an issue, if not an issue right now for this team. This team got better. You made your starting rotation better. But that could rear its ugly head this year. And then you're just going to be playing for the trade deadline and using your capital again. Because this once again signifies that the Red Sox, like the Patriots, actually, we'll get to the Patriots in a minute. The Red Sox broke news this morning. But it will show that the Red Sox ownership is willing to go cheap under the guise of value rather than going out and getting the top of the line starting pitching and spending money and finding actual real value there. They are so terrified of overpaying, or what they see as overpaying, which is different from the other contenders in the league. That's what they are so worried about. And this Walker Buehler signing signifies that, because the chances are you're not going to be able to say like, oh, this was a disaster of a deal. It's 1 year, it's $21 million, and he's probably not going to be catastrophic, right? He's not going to suck, probably, but he did not have a great year last year. And so you're probably not going to be like, oh, wow, what a disaster. It's not going to be a Sandoval deal. But you'll see, Corbin Burnes finishing in the top 5 for the Cy Young again. You'll see Blake Snell like winning a Cy Young again. And you'll be like, well, the Red Sox could have just spent some money and got these guys. And that is what I'm ultimately worried about. But in a vacuum, I don't mind the Walker Buehler signing because it makes your team better. It's low risk, high reward. And to me, that's better than nothing, because there was just as likely a scenario that they were just going to go out and get nobody. And I did see a good tweet about this from Nugget Chef, which is Jay Hay Kid. He was on Carabas' show for a while. And he says, the sequence of issuing the qualifying offer to Nick Pivetta, having him decline, and then setting yourself up for a comp pick when he signs elsewhere, and then signing Walker Buehler, who unquestionably has more upside at essentially the QO amount for Pivetta, is a nice move. And it is. I mean, that's a good way to look at it, because they were much more likely to go hard and get Nick Pivetta and re-sign Nick Pivetta as they were to go out and get Corbin Burnes. It's crazy. I know it's stupid, but this is the ownership that you're dealing with. So to get Walker Buehler instead is a good move. And speaking of Carabas, he went out and put out this: Garrett Crochet, Tanner Houck, Brian Bayo, Lucas Giolito, and Walker Buehler. Patrick Sandoval ready to roll in the second half. Cutter Crawford in as a spot starter. That's a rotation I can get excited about. And again, in a vacuum, when you're still looking at that, that is a good way to look at it. I mean, that's a solid rotation right there. That's something you can live with. That's something you can get to the playoffs with and potentially make some noise with. If it goes well, right? Because again, Buehler's coming off a surgery, a major surgery. Giolito's coming off a major surgery. Tanner Houck, you hope you can get his innings up. Brian Bayo, you need to get his innings up. And Garrett Crochet, you need to get his innings up. You don't have a guy in there that is a proven 180 inning guy that's not coming off a surgery within the last year. That shows that it's, low risk, high reward, because you don't expect all 5 of them to get hurt. But all 5 of them have a yellow flag as to them not finishing the season or getting through a whole season, let alone giving you a postseason run. That's the thing that concerns me about not this signing necessarily, but this as a whole, this rotation as a whole. But when I sit back and I think about it, maybe it's just the Christmas spirit in me softening me up, but it's a better rotation than last year. And maybe that's the baby steps this team needs, because to be honest, even at 500 last year, I don't think that team was very far off from making the postseason. I think they're a ways off from really competing for a World Series title, but they weren't far away from being a postseason team last year. They needed to shore up that rotation, and I think you can argue they've done that. They didn't go out and get the big pieces that they are capable of getting, and maybe they're not done yet, but I doubt they're going to get Corbin Burnes after a deal to get Walker Buehler at 1 year. But then we're going to do the same song and dance next year. It's going to be the same thing. But you made your rotation better. You went from a team that almost made the postseason to getting better. And at this point, there's not much more that you can ask for from this ownership group and from GM Craig Breslow. So I'm a fan of the Walker Buehler deal in a vacuum. I definitely don't like the other things that it implicates, because I think the Red Sox had every opportunity in the world to go out and just spend the money and get one of these freaking guys and have a Cy Young candidate at the top of your rotation. Instead, you are not taking flyers isn't fair to these guys, but you're banking on all of these guys to either have, sustained success that they haven't had, or get back to success that they had before they got hurt, right? Like, you need Bayo to be almost ace caliber. You need Tanner Houck to repeat the best year of his career. You need Crochet to stay healthy. You need Buehler to go back to the pitcher he was before the surgery. You need Giolito to go back to the pitcher he was before the surgery. That could be a lot to ask, and this could fall apart. But right now, on paper, it looks like you're in a pretty solid position. You need to go out and get a right-handed slugger. Teoscar Hernandez is just begging for a contract from the Red Sox. That's what they'll need to do to get this better. But my favorite baseball day of the year is coming up, and that is Wednesday. The day of the year where I am most excited about baseball is Christmas Day, because everyone's 0-0, and MLB Network shows Ken Burns' baseball all day, and I'm just right back suckered in, and I'm ready to go. And then they start playing baseball games every day, and I get a little tired of it. I'm getting a little tired of the New England Patriots. And yet another damning report that came out this weekend before the loss to Buffalo. Let's break down the game. Let's go over that report and try to make some sense of it next on the Cam Show.
Ready to bring your vision to life? At Small Rig, every idea, design, and product is inspired by you, the creator. With our industry-first under co-design mode and the Dream Rig free customization project, we unite with global creators to turn big dreams into reality. Whether it's a cage rig or mount, Small Rig's versatile gear is built to elevate your craft. Small Rig, where your creativity meets our innovation. Go to smallrig.com.
When Want to turn your passion into profit? With Blogify, creating a blog has never been easier. Build, customize, and grow your site with powerful tools designed for beginners and pros alike. Start sharing your story today and watch your audience grow with Blogify. Download Blogify now in the App Store. Overwhelmed by your inbox? Clean Email is here to help. Organize, clean, and manage your emails with powerful automation tools. Say goodbye to spam and clutter and enjoy a stress-free inbox. Try Clean Email today at cleanemail.com. That's CLEAN email.com. Stay connected no matter where you are with eSIM-X. Say goodbye to expensive roaming charges and physical SIM cards. With access to over 200 global carriers, we make mobile connectivity seamless and affordable for travelers worldwide. Join the future of communication today at eSIMX.com. That's ESIMX.com.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
It is Matt Mosley, and it's the Obstructed View podcast, Rogue Media Network. I think they're learning that there's really no wonderful view of me. See, I feel like they think this feed's going to be really wonderful.
There must have been, no BS, like 20 scouts, 15 to 20 NBA scouts there to see him, and he was top 5.
When your old number wasn't working, I went through various channels to track you down. So unfortunately, you can never get away from me. But I'm happy to have you today.
No, thanks for having me. And you know we always family no matter where I'm at.
Welcome to a special edition of the Doomsday Podcast. Look at this. We got one of the great golfers in the world, certainly one of the great pass rushers in NFL history.
But he also had a vision for you. And so it was like you had the best of both worlds, right? You had somebody on you early, and then you had somebody who was maybe more relaxed.
What were a couple of your biggest takeaways? The first thing you referred to that I've spoken to some personnel people and general managers of the league to get some, independent, objective assessments of the players the Cowboys picked, and we'll go through that.
Has the general manager changed at all in the draft room?
Nope, it's been the same since I was here the last time.
It is the Cam Show. It's Rogue Media Sports Network. Happy Festivus to all, and to all a good early afternoon, I guess. Patriots played on Sunday. Patriots, Bills in Buffalo really didn't mean anything for the Patriots, obviously. I mean, in some regards, but the only thing they're playing for right now is draft position. And the Bills are still trying to get that number 1 seed. And so it was kind of an interesting conflict yesterday at 14-0 in the first quarter, being like, okay, should the Patriots go for this kind of meaningless win over the Bills and just have that over them, or Travis Hunter, basically? And thankfully, the conflict resolution team that they are, the Patriots were able to solve that for us. They gave up the next 24 points, made it interesting at the end. They drop it 24-21, and you kind of get what you're looking for as a Patriots fan. You got a better defensive performance. You got a good Drake May performance, and you lost. And the Raiders won, which is huge. The Raiders win. The Panthers win. Love it. Patriots now slotted at number 2 in the draft position. They are going to have anyone they like. I mean, number 2 or even number 3 is essentially the number 1 pick for the Patriots because they're not picking a quarterback, obviously. So they have their pick of whomever the best guy is on the board. And that's why more and more I'm thinking it's going to be Travis Hunter rather than just tackle. Because even the idiots can't overthink this. With as bad as your roster is and essentially getting the number 1 pick in the draft, you don't overthink it. You just take the best guy on the board. Truly. And if they think that's Ted McMillan, I don't love using the number 2 pick in the draft on a wide receiver if you're the Patriots, but you do need that position, obviously. I don't love that. But anyway, take the best guy available. And if that's who you think it is, God help us all. So it's 24-21, the final yesterday. Again, you get a pretty good Drake May game, more incompletions than you're used to in the last couple of games. Like, he's been keeping it under 5 the last couple of games, but you can argue, I mean, it wouldn't be that hard an argument that Drake May actually outplayed Josh Allen in this game. It means nothing because they didn't win the game, but the whole week we heard the Drake May, Josh Allen comparisons. I did that on the show on Friday. I think he's having a better rookie year than Josh Allen had. And now Allen is going to win the MVP this year, still, even though Saquon had a big game yesterday and Josh Allen did not. But I think Drake May outplayed him in his own yard yesterday. 22 at 36. Those are more incompletions, again, than you're used to the last couple of weeks. But 22 at 36 for 261, a couple of touchdowns and a pick. Versus Allen, 16 at 29, 154, a touchdown and a pick. May threw it for more yards per completion, had a couple of really good-looking deep balls. Had a great one on the touchdown pass to Kayshon Boutte. Had that wild drive at the end there where it was, 8 plays inside the 10-yard line. That's not easy for a team like the Patriots. I'm surprised they actually scored. They just don't have that many of those 2-point plays because they're not good at short yardage at all. I think there is a great rivalry brewing in the NFL right now, and it's the New England Patriots versus 3rd and short. It's incredible. I mean, they're bad in every facet, but it's truly incredible how bad they are in short yardage situations. And they showed the graphic during the game yesterday of the Patriots being the only team in the NFL, the only team in the National Football League that has not had a designed quarterback run this year. Like the Jets have had one. Matthew Stafford with the Rams has had one. The Patriots are the only one who haven't. You know why? Because those teams will QB sneak. The Patriots, for some reason, don't do it. Drake May's out there. He's 6'4", 6'5", and they refuse to run him on a quarterback sneak. This is the same franchise, by the way, that had a big quarterback at 6'4", that was the best QB sneaker of all time for 20 years. This head coach played with him, coached on a staff while this guy was the quarterback, and they refuse to do it. Even after all the heat that Gerard Mayo got this past week for not running Drake May, knowing how talented an athlete he is and how big a body he is, they still didn't do it. It's amazing to me. And so they run all these plays inside the 10-yard line on that final drive, and Ian Eagle and Charles Davis are saying, don't forget, they've got the weapon, they've got the run it, they've got the legs of Drake May. And I'm like, did I miss something? Because we had a graphic on this earlier. Did they do a design quarterback run when I was up taking a piss or something? Because they're talking about this extra weapon, and I'm like, but we've been over this. They don't utilize that. They have the least amount of playmakers of any offense in the league, and they have a guy who can make plays with his legs, and they just don't want to use it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know what to compare it to. Like, you've got all these just clunkers. You've got these gas gugglers, shitbox cars in your garage, and you've just got this Lamborghini sitting there. And you're like, God, I can't get any of these cars to start. What am I gonna do? The Lamborghini, no, that's fine. Yeah, just keep it there. I don't want to ruin it. Like, if you don't want Drake May to take hits, then he's not your starting quarterback. Shut him down. But you're not. And it's like they're perfectly taking the worst of both worlds, because Drake May is a threat with his legs and he's a big body, and they won't do any quarterback run with him. So you've taken that out of the game. And then every game, at some point, they convince themselves they're a hard-running football team and a team that can run in between the tackles. And yet week after week after week after week after week, they've proven they cannot fucking do that. They're not good at that. They don't have the personnel for that. And yet every week, we say it, there's like a quarter and a half when you're like, why isn't Drake May throwing the ball down the field? Why aren't they running pass plays for him to get somebody open 10, 15 yards down the field? You know, the thing he's good. That's what the guy is good at. And yet we abandon it all the time. It's like just incredible stupidity on that coaching staff. And that's all the way down. That's Jerod Mayo, that's Alex Van Pelt, that's Elliot Wolf. Like, that's everyone in that behind the scenes, front office, coaching staff, whatever you want to say. Like, everyone is culpable for the shit mindset of this football team. Because again, I'm looking up third quarter, like, Patriots haven't scored in a while. Why are they running the ball? Like, why? Why are we giving the opportunity for Ramondre Stevenson to fumble for the 7th time this year? And why is he getting the first carry of the next freaking drive? Like, do you have any pride, like any shame, any fucking nuts at all to run an NFL team? You're just rewarding the guy for fumbling the goddamn football every game. Like, how do you see this and think, yeah, this is okay, this is the direction we want our franchise to go? Because apparently that is the way that Robert Kraft and Jonathan Kraft are thinking. Because even after the horrible, horrible optics of last week, Robert and Jonathan Kraft on live TV talking about how bad the play calling is, everyone in America can read their lips. Then the head coach post-game having the most embarrassing quote we've heard from a coach here in 30 years. Just throwing his OC under the bus. After all of that, and mind you, the fact that they are now 3-12, we still got this report over the weekend on why Jerod Mayo is likely going to stay the head coach.
Unbelievable. Meanwhile, their opponent today, starting to be some questions about the New England Patriots and their head coach, Jerod Mayo. Here's my understanding of this situation. The Krafts want to keep Jerod Mayo. They believe he is the leader for their organization, for their future, and they knew it would be a multi-year process to get this thing right. That is their stance right now. Now, if things go off the rails, Rich, if they start to really struggle and the loses the locker room the last couple of games of the season, we've seen this thing turn. But as of now, the Patriots believe Jerod Mayo is their leader for the future.
If things go off the rails, mind you, the New England Patriots are 3-12. They're one of 3 teams in the league that has not scored 30 points in a game all season long. Their owner and their president were caught on live TV last week talking about how bad the play calling was. Their head coach gave the most embarrassing quote from a Patriots coach in probably 30 years right after that game. And oh yeah, the team they got blown out by last week, Arizona, they lost to the Panthers this week. They're about to lose 13 plus games for the second year in a row. They're going to be picking in the top 3 for the second year in a row. This team used to win Super Bowl, but this crap that they're putting out every week isn't off the rails yet. That's a frightening report from Ian Rappaport. Frightening, because it goes to show that the Crafts will let this get worse and worse and worse. How bad does this need to get? How embarrassing does this franchise need to be before you say, you know what? This probably isn't going in the right direction. It's not going in the right direction. Spoiler alert, it fucking sucks. It's a horrible, horrible place to be in as the New England Patriots right now. And yet I'm getting this report of, well, if things get bad, it's already bad. It's off the fucking rails. You have a very, very good rookie quarterback and nothing around him. No part of your team has gotten any better, even though you've improved the most important position in football midseason. Nothing else has gotten better. Biggest of all, your coaching. Your coaching sucks. Your culture right now sucks. And I've got to hear this crap as a Patriots fan. I've got to hear, oh, well, if it gets any worse, what do you want? Do you want them to go 0-17? Like, is that what it's going to take to have some balls and make a friggin' move, open the checkbook, find a real fucking coach? And someone to build this roster around a dynamite rookie quarterback, that's what it's going to take. We're going to, like, this should be bottoming out. This is bottoming out for most teams. And the Crafts are sitting up there just begging for them to go 1-16 or 0-17 because then they'll make a move. They like the direction of this. They are spitting in your faces as Patriots fans by saying this isn't bad yet. This is as bad as it should get. And yet they're saying, no, wait for it to get off the rails. Wait for him to lose the locker room. I don't know what the hell that's going to take. Sleeping with a player's wife? Something? I don't know. Assaulting a player? Because he's just thrown his OC right under the bus last week to the media. And you're like, well, wait for him to lose the locker room. And Drake May, God love him. I certainly do. Drake May defending his head coach yesterday at the podium saying, like what Gerard's doing with this team. What do you expect? He's a good guy. He's not going to throw his coach under the bus to the media like that. But the jock sniffers that the front office is, they're going to say, oh, well, yeah, Gerard's got us going in the right direction. Drake May said so. Instead of reading it for what it is of, hey, this is a good leader. He's not going to throw his head coach under the bus. They're going to say, well, no, Drake likes him. He doesn't. He wants to win. Jerod Mayo's not going to get them winning. Because, again, there's zero accountability in this franchise, which is baffling from where they came from. They were the ultimate example of accountability. And this coach only played in the NFL and only coached in the NFL under that coach, who was the model of accountability. And yet, fourth quarter, the Patriots are in a 3rd and short. The play clock is running down. It hits zeros. Delay of game. That's on the quarterback. I'm not trying to take away from this. That's on the quarterback. It's one of 2 or 3 mistakes that Drake May made yesterday. But then I nearly broke my television because they pan to Jerod Mayo, and Mayo's on the sidelines, and he's just shaking his head and scoffing as the play clock hits 0 and they get a delay of game penalty. And I look at the score bug. 3 timeouts remaining. I'm like, don't just shake your fucking head. Call a goddamn timeout. You're the head coach. Only the quarterback and the head coach can do it. He doesn't see it. I get it. It's a bad mistake. He's a rookie quarterback. You call the timeout. I mean, literally, a guy just got fired for that. Matt Eberflus just got fired for that 2 weeks ago. And Jerod Mayo's just sitting there. What are we doing? What are you doing? Call the timeout. That's a massive play. It's like a 3-point game. You're on a 3rd and short, and you're going to let it go to 3rd long because you are not calling a timeout. This guy doesn't know how to be a head coach. He's completely overwhelmed by this thing. Before the game, during the game, after the game, he doesn't know what this job entails. Or if he does, he's sure as shit not showing it. And I've got to wait for it to get off the rails? Like, how much more off the rails does it need to get? This is pathetic. We're becoming a joke of this league. Dion might not even let Travis Hunter play here. Oh, my God. His fiance will have a real good time in North Attleboro, though. It's just, it's such a joke, man. And like, we used to laugh at these teams, and every week there's more punchlines. Wait till it gets off the rails. Wait for him to lose the locker room. I'm telling you, this ownership wants them to go 0-17, so they have a foolproof excuse to fire the coach and switch things up. And what they don't know is there's a foolproof excuse right there. There's no pride in some respects, and there's too much pride in other respects. Because the reason they're doing this is they don't want to admit they were wrong. They don't want Belichick to quote-unquote win. Suck it up. You are spitting in the faces of this fan base that has worshipped your family for 3 decades. Open your eyes, man. This should be as bad as it gets. But what you are telling Patriots fans is you're going to let it get worse. That's a real fucking shame, man. What's not a shame is the Boston Celtics. They're keeping the city alive, man. And Jason Tatum might be keeping his MVP campaign alive. Let's go over that next on the Cam Show.
Unlock your full potential with Onnit, your go-to for premium supplements, fitness gear, and wellness essentials. Whether you're training hard, recovering faster, or just looking to feel your best, Onnit has the tools you need to perform at your peak. Visit Onnit, that's ONNIT.com, and elevate your mind, body, and spirit today. Join the Daily High Club, the premier destination for glass water pipes, vaporizers, and accessories. Since 2015, we've sold over 1 million quality products and teamed up with legends like Snoop Dogg and Tommy Chong. Ready to elevate your smoking game? Visit dailyhighclub.com for our El Primo subscription box or shop unique pieces today. Get paid faster with Bill, the easiest way to send, receive, and manage your payments. No more delays, no more hassle. Whether you're a freelancer or a business, Bill makes payments seamless and secure, simple, fast, and reliable. Sign up today at Bill.com. Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Combine that with OrganicHemp.com's top quality CBD for ultimate balance. Start your healing journey today at GlobalHealing.com and OrganicHemp.com.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious. Find your blend at hempdelicious.com.
Get ready for epic savings at Best Buy. Right now, you can save up to $700 on select Alienware and Dell gaming products. Perfect for leveling up your gaming experience. Plus, grab the latest Android Google Pixel at an unbeatable price. Don't miss these incredible deals. Shop now at bestbuy.com and upgrade your tech today.
We've got all these transfer portal stats and what Dion did and what Fritz has done. I mean, that's the deal, man. That's the game that's being played nowadays.
Maybe a little bit unknown at quarterback. I mean, unknown to the rest of the world, but he dove into the portal and got a guy who is super, super athletic.
South Dakota State's really good. Give us a little bit of breakdown about what they can do and what Oklahoma State needs to be worried about.
Look at that form right there. I need to say nothing else about this because I found one.
We're back on the Cam Show, rounding things out here on Festivus on the Rogue Media Sports Network. The Boston Celtics are keeping the city alive. The Celtics are keeping the city of Boston alive and well and going. The Walker Buehler signing, fine. It's not lighting the city on fire. And we sure should know the Patriots and the Bruins are not either. The Celtics, the world champions, God's gift to the game of basketball, those are the ones keeping it alive. And specifically Jason Tatum, who, is a guy we need to defend all the time. I don't really think we need to. I think there's just a weird kind of rating of Jason Tatum, I guess. Because all the people that shit on him think that other people think he's the best player in the league. And Celtics fans don't think that. I think most of us are in a pretty comfortable spot with him being somewhere between the 4th and 7th best player in the league. And, not absolutely stuffing the stat sheets because he's got the best team in the league and has some great talent around him. And that great talent around him, people want to use that against him rather than for him, rather than the fact that it was one of the, I would say last year's Celtics team is one of the 10 or 15 best NBA teams of all time. And he was the best player on it. So anyway, Tim Bontemps put out this straw poll at the end of last week for the NBA MVP. 100 people voted in it, a lot of whom will actually be voting for the MVP come the end of the season. And right now, Jason Tatum came in 4th. But he didn't earn a single first-place vote from those 100 ballots. And so he responded because, he and Jaylen Brown, as much as they might say they don't like it, they definitely take those things personally. He had one of his best games ever against Chicago on Saturday. An unbelievable second half. 43 points, 16 rebounds, 10 assists. 43-point triple-double. First time in Celtics history, which is a pretty good history, that a player ever tallied 40-plus points, 15-plus rebounds, and 10-plus assists. In fact, he was the first Celtic to have a 40-point triple-double since Larry Bird. That's pretty good company. And the numbers all season long are proving that he absolutely should be in that conversation for the MVP. 29 points a game, 9 rebounds, 6 assists on 46% shooting. None of those things are earth-shatteringly good. Right? 29 points, though, that's 6th in the league. 9 rebounds, top 20 in the league. 6 assists a game, top 30 in the league. 46%, 69th in the league. It's great. It's hilarious. But to do that, all those things on a consistent basis every night, 82 games a year for the best team in the league and the most hunted team in the league, and we're getting the most attention from the other team, that is impressive. And if you watch the Celtics every night, you'll realize how impressive it is because you see that, Tatum always wants to get points. Don't get me wrong. And his shooting efficiency hasn't been as great as it was the first couple games of the year when we thought he had all figured it out. But when you watch every night, you'll see that Tatum is going to do anything the team needs for him to win. And apparently these ball knowers on social media did not see that in the postseason. And I thought it was on great full display, especially in the finals, man. And that game 5, he was the best player on the floor in the finals. But people would say, he shot 2 of 7 from 3. It's like, well, okay, you got double teamed all night. He was finding the open man all night. He was drawing defenders away from the paint. Like if you watch the games, you see Jason Tatum's value. Does that mean he's the best player in the league? No. Again, I'm not going to argue that he's the best player in the league. But when you are talking about value across the board, it's going to be tough at the end of the year to find someone with more value than Jason Tatum. And Jaylen Brown will be in that conversation as well, as they should be. But here's what Jason Tatum said after the game. We're a really, really good team with so many talented players. I'm probably not going to put up the same numbers as some of those other guys in the MVP race he's talking about. That's perfectly fine with me, especially what we did in June last year. That's the main goal here. Not for me to win the MVP, but for us to play at a high level and compete for championships year in, year out. If I accomplish that along the way, that'd be amazing. But the main goal is for everybody to feel involved and play a part in us doing something special. And it's going to sound like, just some fodder for Celtics porn kind of thing. But they don't just say that. They do go out there and do it. I talked about it earlier. Like Tatum and Brown certainly put up some great performances after they feel they were slighted. This for Tatum after that poll. Jaylen Brown having the 40-point game in the conference finals the day after it was announced he did not make the All-NBA team, and having that unbelievable game-tying three-pointer in game one of the conference finals. Like, these guys do hear it and understand it, but they have shown in their play the last year that they don't let it get to them in the case of having it take away from the team goals. Because honestly, you've got two MVP candidates most years in Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, all NBA guys. You've got guys in Derek White and Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis who are good enough to make all NBA teams, but don't, because there is a singular goal on this team. And you saw it last year. Like, no one guy is any higher than any other. Tatum might take more shots than the other guys, but they will all do what it takes to win. And it sounds cliche and it sounds, homerish, but you saw it. You saw it in the run last year. In fact, it's not like everyone was saying after the end of Game 5, like, yep, definitely Jaylen Brown MVP of the NBA Finals. He deserved it, don't get me wrong, but you had great games from Tatum. You had a great first two games from Drew Holiday. You had an unbelievable performance in game one from Porzingis. It's like that was a showing of just how special that team was, because they can hit you from all angles, man. And it doesn't matter whose night it is. They'll go and they'll figure it out, and they'll do whatever it takes to win the game. And that's why this team was able to go out there and win the title and have one of the best teams of this century, because they didn't care who it was. And they had 5 guys, 6 or 7, of course, when you include Horford and Peyton Pritchard, that could do a lot of things well and didn't care who got the limelight. That's why the Celtics won the title last year, and that's why they are on the collision course to do it again. And typically the MVP is going to go to the best player in the league. That's across all sports. It's tough to argue against that at this point. We know what that is. But if we're taking the value in most valuable player, it's going to be tough to argue against Tatum. But people will look and say he's got all these other great players on his team. And that's not the only mark of value, but that's how a lot of people are going to look at it. Who had the worst team around them that still got to a good spot? That's what they'll look at. And whatever. But you look at the best player on the best team who is sacrificing shots and limelight for the chance to go and win the NBA championship. To me, that would make a pretty good case for NBA MVP, and a guy who's going to be top 20 in all the major categories as well. Like, find someone who can do all of that. Tatum, Jokic, Luka, those guys all can. So am I saying he should definitely win it? No. but he's going to be in that conversation again, and his time is going to come. I think there is going to be a year where he is going to win the MVP, if not the scoring title. I do think that's going to come because I think there's still more things he can improve on in his game. He can still become a better shooter. Like that remains to be seen. So anyway, Jason Tatum for MVP. Cam Stewart for MVP. Cam Show fans for MVP. Guys, hope you have a happy Festivus today. And of course, a Merry, Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you, whatever you're celebrating. Just be there with loved ones. It's all about who's around you. It's a fun time of year. I can't wait to get this, up and at 'em, and of course, keep a finger on the pulse, but, try and relax these next couple of days. We will see you next week after the holiday here on The Cam Show.
Transform your workspace with Hanomi Ergonomics. From adjustable chairs to standing desks, we provide solutions for comfort and productivity, whether at home or in the office. Improve your posture, reduce strain, and work smarter. Visit us at hanomi.co today. That's HINOMI.co today. Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internex. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. Enjoy seamless, fast storage without compromising security. Visit Internex.com today and take control of your digital life. That's INTERNXT.com today. Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com. Tusains, we understand that maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be challenging, especially in today's fast-paced world. That's why our mission is to make fitness accessible to everyone, anywhere. Committed to excellence, we adopt a user-centric approach guided by ergonomics and medical science. With a team of seasoned professionals in R&D, design, and manufacturing, we prioritize quality across our entire product line. Visit Tusains.com today and start your journey to better health. That's TOUSAINS.com.